Welcome to the second session of the balanced three-phase circuits, sheet 4 of electrical circuits 2. In the previous session, we have discussed about the representation of the three-phase circuits on XY axis. We have discussed about the problems related to the line currents, line voltages, load voltages of a YY circuit and Y delta circuits. We have completed till problem number 5. In today's session, we will be seeing problems related to the delta delta circuits and also the balanced and unbalanced circuits. Coming to the solution of the sixth question, let us read out the question first. For the delta delta circuit, for the given delta delta form, it means the source is in the form of delta and the load is also in the form of delta. We need to evaluate the phase currents and the line currents. Phase currents and the line currents. Line current means current flowing at this part. Phase current means current flowing in these branches, current flowing in these phases. If we move to the solution, this is the same circuit which is drawn here, which is represented here. If you check the load delta, the delta is connected with the delta. Each branch of the delta circuit consists of 30 plus J10, 30 plus J10, 30 plus J10. It means it is a balanced load. It is a balanced three-phase load. And also, if we check the supply, it is also in the delta form, triangular form. See, one branch leaving and different end is connected to the different end, and here also different end is connected to the different end. Minus is connected to plus, plus is connected to the minus, plus is connected to the minus at different nodes, we can say. This is node A, node B, node C. This is also in delta form, this is also in delta form. If you check the supply voltage, it is at 173 at an angle of 0, 173 at an angle of minus 120, 173 at an angle of plus 120. Three-phase balance supply. So delta delta form. Now under such condition, let us evaluate the phase currents. Initially, let us calculate the phase current. Phase current means current flowing in this phase, current flowing in this phase, current flowing in this phase. If you want to evaluate this current, we should know the voltage which is applied in this across this branch. The voltage which is applied across this branch is the VAB voltage, and the impedance across VAB is the Z delta. So the current flowing in this branch will be IAB is equal to VAB by Z delta. If you want the voltage current in this branch, VBC divided by voltage across this is 173 at an angle of minus 120, VBC divided by Z delta. If you want the current flowing in this branch is VAC divided by VAC divided by this voltage divided by this impedance. We will get the current flowing in this branch. Simply we can write it is an Ohm's law. The phase currents are IAB is equal to VAB by Z delta, IBC is equal to VBC by Z delta, ICA is equal to VCA by delta. If you evaluate, you will get 5.47, 5.47, 5.47 minus 18.43 at a phase difference of minus 120, at a phase difference of plus 120 with reference to the IAB current. Either you can calculate this value and add minus 120 and then plus 120. Why minus 120? IBC is having the voltage of minus 120. So to this value you will add minus 120. And IAC is having plus 120. So ICA will be plus 120. IAB, IBC, ICA. We got these values. No. These are the phase currents. If you want to calculate the line currents, line currents, observe here. Line current is this current. This current is equal to IA plus IB. At this point, if you apply Kirchhoff's current law, IA should be equal to IA plus IB. If we apply Kirchhoff's current law here, IB should be equal to IBC and IBA. Is it right? If you apply Kirchhoff's current law here, IC is equal to ICB and ICA. ICB and ICA. Let us take this one. IA, let us calculate this. IA is equal to IAB plus IAC. But we have evaluated ICA. Here we have evaluated ICA. We can write IAC. This current is equal to opposite of ICA. So it will be minus ICA. IAB current, this current, plus IAC. This IAC should be equal to the current which is flowing here, which is equal to minus ICA. So we can write it as IA is equal to IAB minus ICA. Just substitute. Similarly, IB, at this point you can write IB is equal to IBA plus ICA, but IBA is equal to minus IAB plus IBC. Right? Substitute the values of IAB, ICA. Let us IA is equal to IAB minus ICA. Substitute the values of IAB, ICA. You will get it as 9.47 at an angle of minus 483. Similarly, IB can be evaluated as IB if we have written it here, IB is equal to IBA plus IBC, or IB is equal to minus IAB plus IBC. So minus IAB plus minus IAC, from these values, minus IAB minus of this value plus IBC plus 5 point this value, you will get the value as 9.47. Same magnitude but at a difference of minus 120. Same magnitude but at a difference of minus 120. Similarly, IC is equal to IA at an angle of plus 120. IA plus, here IA minus 120. You can write it here, IA minus 120, or IB, here IC, IA plus 120. IA value we got it as minus 48.4843 plus 120. Either you can use this method, or simply after evaluation this, just add minus 120 here plus 120 here. You will get the same values of the line currents. We have evaluated the phase currents and also the line current. This is IB. IB is equal to IA at an angle of minus 120. This is IA value, and to that we are adding minus 120. This is IA value, and to which we are adding plus 120. You will get this value. This completes our question number 6. Coming to the question number 7. Question number 7. For a balanced delta Y, VAB is equal to 125 at an angle of 0 degrees. We need to find the line current IA, IB, IC. We need to calculate this IA, IB and ICC. These are the line currents. This is a star network. We can say it is a delta connected. It is representing delta connected, and it is a balanced circuit. It means, balance means if VAB is equal to 120, similarly it will be positive sequence. Next will be plus 120 and then minus 120 AB. Now if you go into the circuit, if you draw the circuit solution, so this is the circuit, and this is in delta form. This is in delta form. It can be converted to the star form in this form, and then we will be having this load circuit, which is already in the star form or Y connection. Transform the source to Y equivalent. If we want to convert the delta form to the Y equivalent, the line voltage whatever we are taking, we need to divide it by root 3 and subtract minus 30. The line voltage, it has to be divided by root 3 and subtract minus 30. What for we are doing this? This is in the delta circuit. If you want to convert the delta into Y, there is a derivation which has been explained in the nursery part. For the conversion of delta to Y equivalent 1, we need to phase voltage. To identify the phase voltage, the line voltage value whatever we have, VAB is equal to 125 at an angle of 0. This voltage should be divided by root 3 and it should be reduced by 30 degrees. So VL is equal to 125 at an angle of 0 and reduced by 30 degrees divided by root 3. You will get 72.168 minus 30 degrees. Now the per phase equivalent current. If you want to evaluate the per phase equivalent current, IA is equal to VAN by Z. Voltage across this. It means we got this value, VAN, the phase voltage. This one voltage VAN is equal to 72.16 at an angle of minus 30. And across this we are having this from here. If you replace this with this part, you will get VAN. This voltage is equal to 72.168 at an angle of minus 30 degrees. Now to this phase, the load connected is AN. AN is 24 minus J5. 24 minus J5. If you represent this in the polar form, you will get 28.3 at an angle of minus 32. So VAN by Z. Substitute the value of VAN by Z, you will get at 2.55 at an angle of 2. Similarly, IB is equal to IAN minus 120. So it is in the phase sequence. Why minus 120? It is a phase sequence of, did it specified? Yes, if we go to the problem, it is in the phase sequence positive. In the question, if you check, it is in the phase sequence of positive phase sequence. Positive phase sequence means 0, minus 120 and plus 120. So here for IB, you will take IAN, this current, and we will be subtracting minus 120. For IC, IAN plus 120. If it is a negative phase sequence, IB is equal to IAN plus 120 and ICC is equal to IAN minus 120. As it is a positive phase sequence, 0, minus 120 and plus 120 should be the sequence value. We got the per phase equivalent IA, IB and IC. These are the values for a balance condition. If the system is in balance, this forms your solution. If it is an unbalanced condition, we need to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage laws, Kirchhoff's circuits law, all circuit, superposition theorem, Thevenin theorem, all those things we can apply and we can evaluate it. We will see that problem in the last problem what we have. Coming to the question number 8, we are having a balanced 3-phase Y load is connected to a 60 Hertz 3-phase source with a VAB is equal to 240 at an angle of 0 degrees. The load has a power factor of 0.5 lagging and each phase draws 5 kilowatts. It means 5 kilowatts is drawn here, 5 kilowatts is drawn here, 5 kilowatts is drawn here, and it is a balanced load with a power factor of 0.5. Determine the load impedance ZY, IA, IB and IC. This is just an example, but it will be in the same form. Determine the load impedance Z we need to calculate, and also the line currents we need to calculate, IA, IB and IC. Now if you move to the solution, problem number 8, we are having a balanced circuit. The first thing is determine the load impedance ZY. To determine the load impedance ZY, VAB already it is given, the line voltage phase voltage is given. Phase voltage is of 3-phase source with VAB is equal to 240. Sorry, this is the what we can say, it is a line voltage. VAB is the line voltage. If it is a phase voltage, it has to be given as VAN. As it is specifying two different lines, it is a line voltage. VAB, voltage across two lines. So it is a line voltage. VAN is equal to root 3 V phase 240. But if we want to calculate V phase will be VL by root 3. So 240 by root 3 is equal to 138.6. And also V phase, we are converting line to phase values. When we are shifting line to phase, VAN V phase is equal to, we need to reduce by 30 degrees as we have specified here. We need to reduce by 30 degrees. Similarly, we are doing it here. We are reducing by 30 degrees. V phase is equal to 138.56 at an angle of 0 minus 30 degrees. You will get 138.56. And let us calculate the power factor. Power factor is already given. It as power factor is 0.5. So cos theta is equal to 0.5. Theta is equal to 60 degrees. Now if you want to calculate the what he is telling us to calculate it, determine the load impedance. For determining the load impedance, we need to calculate the total power. If you let us calculate the total power. For the evaluation of total power, we know P is equal to S cos pi. This is the apparent power, this is the real power. SP is equal to, this is the apparent power. What it is? It is P cos theta plus J Q sin theta, or S cos theta, sorry, it is S cos theta plus J S sin theta, Sj sin theta, or you can write it as P plus JQ. P is S cos theta and Q is S plus and Q is S sin theta. We know cos theta already given, so S is equal to P divided by cos theta, you will get 10 kVA. Similarly here Q is equal to S sin theta, S sin theta. So 10 sin theta is equal to 8.6. So apparent power S is equal to S plus J 8.66. S is, sorry, P is 5. Why? How we got 5? If we go into the question, it is say the each phase is loading with a 5 kilowatt. If you read out the problem here, each phase draws 5 kilowatt. 5 kilowatt means it is real power. Watt, kilowatt, units of a real power are watt. Now after SP, once evaluation of the apparent power, we know SP is equal to Vp square by Zp conjugate. This is the power relationship in an AC circuit. This is an AC circuit power relationship. So SP is equal to Vp square by Zp conjugate. We need to calculate this Z impedance. So Zp conjugate is equal to Vp square by SP. Vp value we know, already we have evaluated phase voltage 138.56, and SP value already it is given here. This divided by this, so Zp you will get it as 13.856 at an angle of 90. Actually we are getting it here plus, sorry, we are getting it here minus. Zp conjugate is minus. If we want to remove this conjugate, we will change this negative to positive sign. So after conversion of this rectangular form into polar form, Z is equal to 13.856 at an angle of 90 milli ohms. This forms your load impedance. Why we have evaluated this S value? To use this formula for the evaluation of Zp, we should know S. For the evaluation of S, we are calculating P and Q. We got P from the question, Q has to be evaluated. For the evaluation of Q, we need to know S. So S is evaluated from the real value that has been given in the question. We got the Q value, substitute that Q value, and we will be getting S value. After using S, you will get all these things. With this, we have calculated the load impedance. Now next thing is we need to calculate the line current. For the evaluation of the line currents, IA is equal to VAN by ZY, VAN by ZY. We got 13.856. VAN divided by ZY, you will get 10 at an angle of minus 120 milliamperes. So IB is equal to IA minus 120, IC is equal to IA plus 120. So 10 at an angle of minus 120, 10 at an angle of minus 240, 10 at an angle of 0 milliamperes. This completes your question number 8. Coming to the question number 9, we are having a balanced delta connected 3-phase load which is drawing 200 amperes per phase with a leading power factor of 0.5 from a 12.47 kilowatts line to line system. We need to determine the line current magnitude of the load, the phase voltage magnitude of the load, the total apparent power of the load, the total real power of the load. These problems will be helpful for you. This complete unit, we can say the most of these units what we have studied today will be applicable in your power systems. When you are studying in the power systems, it will be helpful. All these formulas, what your total power, complex power, reactive power, real power, apparent power, phase voltage magnitude, line voltage magnitude, all these things will be used in the subject called power systems and also in electrical machines. Applications of these electrical circuits 1 and electrical circuits 2 are the power systems and electrical machines. You need to be perfect with these concepts. It can be only remembered if you understand the concept. Automatically, if you understand the concept, automatically you will remember it for your lifetime. Now coming to the problem number 9, we are having a balanced delta connected 3-phase load which is drawing 200 amperes per phase with a leading power factor of 0.85 from a 12.47 kV line to line system. That means this voltage is a line to line voltage. We need to determine the line current magnitude, line current magnitude of the load. Magnitude means only the vector. A vector is a vector quantity which has both magnitude and direction is a quantity which has both magnitude and direction is a vector quantity. Magnitude defines the strength of the line, strength, or you can say the units, and whereas the angle defines the in what direction it is acting, in what direction, how much it is differed from the reference value, Okay, now let us not go into the deep. It can be evaluated if we represent a vector on a xy axis, to be specific. Okay, now coming to the 9a, we need to evaluate the line current magnitude of the line current. What is the circuit? The circuit is a delta connected, balanced delta connected 3-phase load. So delta connected load, in delta connected, line voltage is equal to phase voltage, and IL is equal to √3 I phase. The current value changes in the delta value, whereas in the Y value the current value remains same and the voltage changes in YY connection. As it is a delta connected load, IL will line voltage will be equal to the phase voltage, and the line current will be equal to √3 times of the phase current. Here the phase current is given as 200 amperes, so the line current is equal to √3 200 I phase. √3 into I phase is equal to 346.4 amperes. This forms your magnitude of the line current. We need to calculate the magnitude of the line current. Then the phase voltage of the magnitude. The phase voltage means phase voltage is equal to line voltage. It is a delta connected. So the line voltage is equal to phase voltage magnitude. Here only we need to calculate only the magnitude, voltage magnitude of the load. So we can write it as VL is equal to V phase is equal to 12.47 kilovolts. Now coming to the next part, total apparent power of the load. Total apparent power of the load means √3 VL IL, or 3 into V phase I phase. You will get the same value. If you are going with this formula, apparent power is equal to √3 VL value, we got it here, IL value we got it here from this 346. You will get 74482 kilowatts. If you are going with this 3 into VP, V phase is same, VL V phase is same, and I phase, current phase is, phase value of the current is 200, substitute it, you will get both the same values. Either you can use this formula or you can use this formula. Coming to the D bit, we need to calculate the active power. Active power is √3 VL IL cos pi, √3 VL IL cos pi. So √3 into VL value, it is given in the problem. IL value, we have evaluated it here. IL value, on substitution you will get, and cos pi 0.85, it is given in the question. Cos pi is given in the question, 0.85 power factor. Cos pi value is the power factor value. Substitute it, you will get total active power P is equal to 6359.5 kilowatts. 6359.5 kilowatts. Coming to the reactive power, if we want to evaluate the reactive power, Q is equal to square root of √3 VL IL sin pi. √3 value, just in place of cos pi we need to substitute the sin pi. How to calculate sin pi? From this information we know cos pi is equal to 0.85. So pi is equal to cos inverse of 0.85. You will get 31.79. In place of phi, substitute 31.79. You will get 3941 kVAr. 3941 kVAr. If you want to calculate the complex power is, assuming line voltage is at an angle of 0, and IL, generally the line voltage, the supply voltage is taken as a reference. So IL is equal to 346.4, 31.79. This is the line current, and this is the line voltage, 12.47 at an angle of 0. So ST is equal to, complex power is equal to, in a AC circuit, complex power ST is equal to √3 VL IL conjugate. This is the difference. The power in an AC circuit is given by √3 VL IL conjugate. √3 VL value we got, IL value is evaluated 349.4. We got the magnitude, but power factor also we know. Power factor is 0.85, which is the angle of 31, which is at an angle of 31.79. So that angle we will take it here. √3 VL IL, and it is a conjugate of this. Conjugate of this means this 37.29 will become negative value, and that value is here 7482 minus 31.79. And if you evaluate it, you will get 6359.5 J341 kVA. This is one form of evaluation, or simply you can write S is equal to P plus JQ. P value we got it here and Q value we got it here. S is equal to P plus JQ. But here the Q value is minus conjugate. It should be, so the reactive power, as it is a reactive power, we are taking it as a negative value. For the best evaluation, simply you can take it as minus value here. Simply use this formula. It is better to use this formula to avoid the confusion of plus and minus. To avoid the confusion of plus and minus. Okay. As it is an inductive circuit caused by lagging one, and this value will be negative. If it is a reactive value, capacitive reactance, this value will be positive. Just to avoid the confusion, let us not go with this. Use this formula and you will get it, inshallah. Coming this form, this completes your, till question number 9, it completes your problems related to the balance condition. And the same circuit with unbalanced condition, it means question number 10, where we are referring to the unbalanced circuit, calculate the line current. So if you want to evaluate this current and this current in these branches, unbalanced condition, how to evaluate? If it is a balanced condition, we can go with VAN by VB by ZN. You will get the solution. Voltage across this divided by this, you will get IA, IAB, IAC and ICA as problem number 6 or 7, something like that, right? Whereas if it is an unbalanced condition, the network analysis concepts will come into act for easy evaluation. So based on this, coming to this, referring to the unbalanced circuit, if we want to evaluate the line current, what do you mean by line current? Line currents are IA, IB, IC. What do you mean by unbalance? Unbalance means, check this load. The load is not uniform, it is not same. Whatever load is present here, if the same load is present here in this branch and in this branch, then the system is balanced, the load is balanced. Now in this condition, if you check, the value in the branch AB is J10, the value in the branch AC is minus J5, and the value of the branch in BC is 20 ohms. Resistance value, all are different values, hence the system is unbalanced circuit, unbalanced load. Under this condition, we will be applying network synthesis, we will be applying network analysis. One of the best form for these type of circuits is the mesh analysis. For mesh analysis, we will be naming this as mesh 1, we will be naming this as mesh 2, and we will be naming this as mesh 3. For the evaluation of I1, we can say I1 is equal to, IA is equal to the current, line current IA is equal to I1, and the current IB is equal to I2. We can say current current IB is equal to I2 minus I1. This is in this direction. The line current IB should be equal to I2 minus I1, and the current IC will be equal to negative of I2. We want IA, IB and IC. So if we want to evaluate IA, IB and IC, we need to evaluate I1, I2 and I3. To evaluate I1, I2, I3, first apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in this mesh 1. If you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in mesh 1, let us start with this supply voltage. Okay, let us start with this. We have given the direction. Let us start with this. It is plus 440 minus 120. Then here we got minus 440 at an angle of 0. And then we got J10. J10 current flowing, the voltage across this J10 will be this voltage plus this voltage plus this voltage is equal to 0. This is Kirchhoff's voltage law. This is in voltage form, this is in voltage form. Here only impedance is there. If we want to evaluate this voltage, current I1 is taking as reference. So I1 minus I3 into J10. I1 minus I3 into J10. It should be equal to 0. Now from here, let us evaluate I1 minus I3. I1 minus I3 can be written as minus 440 minus 120 plus 440 at an angle of 0 divided by this J10 will come in the denominator. Once you evaluate this, you will get it as 38.1 minus J66. This is your I1 minus I3 value. It is 70, J66, and if you convert this into polar form, you will get 76.21 at an angle of minus 60 degrees. Coming to the mesh 2, this is equation 1, we are naming this as equation 1. Coming to the mesh 2, in mesh 2, let me make it still, this is okay. Coming to the mesh 2, this is your mesh 2. Under mesh 2, you can write the equation as, see, it is starting with plus 440 at an angle of 120. Then we are seeing minus 440 at an angle of minus 120. Then what we are seeing an 20 ohm resistor. The voltage across this will be I2 minus I3 into 20. These are the elements what we have. So we can write 440 at an angle of minus 120 minus 440 at an angle of minus 120 plus 20 at an angle of minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. This forms your, and from this equation let us evaluate I2 minus I3. If you evaluate I2 minus I3, you will get minus 440 at an angle of 120 plus 440 at an angle of minus 120 divided by 20 is equal to minus J38.105. So from here you can write it as I3 minus I2 is equal to J38.105. Actually here we have evaluated I2 minus I3, which is equal to minus J38.105. If you are converting, if you want to remove this minus, you can write it as I3 minus I2 is equal to J38.105. Coming to the mesh 3, if you go to the mesh 3, voltage across this is, we are in the mesh third equation. Third means I3 minus I1, or simply if you move here, this is your I3. If you want the voltage across this, here is I3 minus I1 into J10, I3 minus I1 into J10. If the voltage across this 5 ohms will be I3, so it is minus J5I3, and voltage across this will be I3 minus I2 into 20, I3 minus I2 into 20. So you can write it as I3 minus I2 into 20. Voltage, all the voltages, algebraic sum of the voltages in the closed mesh should be equal to 0. Hence we have placed it at 0. Now here if you observe, we got I3 minus I1, I3 minus I2. Already we have evaluated I3 minus I1. This value is equal to this, and I3 minus I2, this value can be replaced with this. Substitute 1 and 2 in equation 3. So after substituting 1 and 2 in equation 3, you will get J10. This is the equation. In this equation we are substituting I3 minus I1. I3 minus I1 value is minus 38.1 J66 minus 38.1 plus J66, and then I3 minus I2 we got it as J38.105. Substitute it, you will get I3. From this equation you will get I3 is equal to minus J10 minus 38 point. This equation you will get, finally I3 is equal to, you will get it as 152.425 at an angle of 60. In polar form, in rectangular form, it will be 76.22 J132. Once we got I3 value, we can evaluate I1. I1 is equal to I1 is equal to, if you write I1 is equal to, from this I1 is equal to, you can write it as this value plus I1. Sorry, we want I1. So from this relationship you can write I1 is equal to I3 plus 38.J66. I1 is equal to I3 plus 38.1 minus J66. So I1 is equal to 38.1 minus J66 plus I3. I3 we got it here. Substitute that value, you will get I1 is equal to 132 at an angle of 30 degrees. Similarly, I2 is equal to I3 minus J38.105. How we got in this equation, equation 2. So I2 is equal to, from here I2 is equal to I3 plus minus J38.105. So you can write it as I3 is equal to, I2 is equal to I3 plus minus J38.105. So I3 minus J38.15. So here you will be getting I2. Once you evaluate this, we got I1, I2, I3. This is not our target. Our target is to calculate the line currents. The line currents can be evaluated as IA is equal to, see, if you go to the circuit, we want this IA. IA is equal to, both are in the same direction. I1 is the circulating current in this mesh, and which is following through IA. So in a series form, we can say I1 is equal to IA. So we can write whatever I1 value we got, IA is equal to I1 is equal to 132.30. We got it from here. Then IB, if you check this current, IB, this current is equal to, we are in this branch we are seeing two currents. One is I1 is circulating, other current which is circulating in this branch is I2. So IB, that net current IB should be equal to the, see the current direction is flowing in this, the current which is flowing in this direction is the I2. So you can write IB is equal to I2 minus I1. So we can write I2 is equal to, we want IB is equal to I2 minus I1. IB is equal to I2 minus I1. We got already I1 here. I2 we got it from here, 120 or 76.j67. Substitute this value, I2 minus I1, you will get 47.22 at an angle of 143.79. Then IC is equal to minus I2. How IC is equal to minus I2? We want this current IC. We want this current, and the current which is circulating in this branch is I2, but it is in the opposite direction. So hence IC should be equal to negative of this current. Hence IC is equal to negative of this current. IC is equal to minus I2. Substitute of negative of the I2 value, you will get 120.93. This completes your balance. We got the line currents. This completes your question number 10 as well as the sheet 4. If you are having any doubts, we can discuss. That's it for today.